And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today on this Sunday. So yesterday I'm scrolling through YouTube and I come across this clip, Chris Broussard and the Odd Couple, and they are talking about this whole thing with Nick Wright, aka Gonzo, and this whole deal with Tom Haberstroh, basically going back and trying to delegitimize the DPOY award from Michael Jordan in 1988, basically saying that the books were cooked during the home games, that during the home games Michael Jordan played, he got credit for many more steals than he actually got. And supposedly they went back and watched like 6 games in order to prove this theory. But anyway, you know, just another desperate attempt by the 4 and 6 Kingdom to try and bring down the legacy of Michael Jordan while propping up the false king, who doesn't deserve to be in the top 10. But anyway, so Chris Broussard starts off, they actually bring the guy on, they bring on this Tom Haberstroh, and Chris Broussard starts off by joking with him saying, hey, how much did Klutch Sports pay you to do this article? And they kind of laugh it off, and then Chris Broussard says something to the effect of, I'm just playing because I'm represented by Klutch Sports too. And on that note, let's check out this clip.
Our next guest writes for Yahoo Sports, and also you can check him out on Substack, TomTheFinder.com. We welcome in Tom Haberstroh. Tom, how are you?
Bruno, what's going on, buddy?
We're great. We got Ephraim Salam in for Rob Parker. And you know, you and I go way back, colleagues back at ESPN. You do fantastic stuff. And we were just talking about your story on how Michael Jordan's defensive stats, steals and blocks, were doctored, if you will, in home games in 1988. First question, what did Rich Paul and Klutch promise you to write that article?
Now we getting to the bottom of it.
No, Rich is my man. I'm actually represented by Klutch, so Rich is my man. I'm just playing with you.
Okay, so where do we start? First of all, let me start by saying this. Members of the CFL, members of the 4 and 6 Kingdom, Nick Wright, do you guys really want to go down that road? Do you guys really want to open up that door for people to start scrutinizing and going back and checking the legitimacy of some of LeBron James stats? Is that what you want to do? I'm pretty sure you don't want people like myself, Sports and Fitness Rants, Phenomenal Fitness, Angry Old Hoops, who has already done some great videos about this very topic. Matter of fact, if you guys come across some of those videos, please reshare them. Please put them back out there into the atmosphere. And because he's done some great videos basically showing how LeBron James gets a lot of illegitimate rebounds. How they credit LeBron James for rebounds that they don't credit anybody else for, if they would get them that same way. So yeah, if you guys come across some videos, please put those videos back out there. But like I was saying, the 4 and 6 Kingdom, y'all are getting desperate, and I think you guys constantly do so much things that wind up putting your foot in your mouth or wind up working against your own interests. Because like I said, you know, you really don't want to open up this door of having people going back and checking the legitimacy of LeBron James stats. You know, just off travels alone, it would be so many things that he don't get, you know. So that's one thing. The other thing I have to say is that this is really, truly despicable behavior. I mean, this is just, I mean, what can I say? How desperate for praise and adulation do you have to be to to have people researching things like this simply in the attempt to try to lift yourself up. First of all, LeBron James, you've had 20 years to make your case. And you couldn't get the majority of the vote in 20 years. Like, it's time to face reality. And here's some reality for you, is that the eye test is such a heavy thing that LeBron James, you really just cannot win. Again, I always bring this up because to me, the eye test is really the end all be all, if we're being honest about it, because you can believe what your eyes tell you. Again, look no further than these kids doing reaction videos, and most of them, I would say 70 to 80% of them say the same thing when they react to Michael Jordan for the first time. They are in amazement that a human being could play basketball like this. They are like, is this guy alien? Like, there is no way a human being is playing basketball. But the funny enough that while they are saying this is the same things they were saying about Michael Jordan back in his heyday, back in the 90s. They were saying, is this guy human? If he had a bad game, they would say something like, well, maybe he's human after all. So this is not nothing new. This is the same reason why Michael Jordan was being called the best player before he set foot into the NBA. The eye test does not fail. You can clearly look at someone and just be like, hey, this guy is the best player I've ever seen. You do not think that when you look at LeBron James. Yes, you might think, oh, wow, this guy is big and fast for his size. Oh, he's fast to be a player that big at the small forward position. You know, he's strong to be a player at the small forward position. But you do not look at LeBron James from a basketball perspective and think to yourself, my goodness, like, this guy may be the best player I've ever seen. You just don't think that, you know. Now, the next thing, getting to Chris Broussard. So let me say this. Chris Broussard is one of the few people in mainstream media who I thought used to give some of the better takes regarding Michael Jordan and the GOAT debate. While you had people like Skip Bayless, who would always say the same thing. Michael Jordan, 6-0 in the finals, 6 finals MVPs, never allowing a game 7. That's typical Skip Bayless, and it doesn't matter how many times they discuss the GOAT debate, he says the exact same thing, and it's really annoying because I'm like, there's so many other reasons why you can point to that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. But Chris Broussard actually has something better to take. Now, but I will say this. I'm very curious to when he became represented by Klutch Sports, because to me, I have been noticing in the past few months that even though he still thinks Michael Jordan is the GOAT, he seems like he goes out of his way to not step on LeBron James' toes. He seems like he goes out of his way to sugarcoat the things that he says against LeBron versus Michael Jordan. He seems like he throws a lot of sugar on top to soften the blow as much as possible, where it didn't used to seem like he did that in this same way. So I'd be curious to see when he actually became represented by Klutch Sports. But so having said that, Chris Broussard officially can't be trusted. Let's just go ahead and put that out there. Chris Broussard cannot be trusted. Anybody who is represented by Klutch Sports cannot be trusted. Anybody who is represented by an organization who we all see, who has been coming out more and more in the last few months about them contacting people, them emailing people, them calling people because they are displeased when anybody says anything against LeBron James. Anybody who is so desperate to control the narrative and, again, to get that praise, anybody working for that organization or represented by that organization cannot be trusted. And here's another thing I'm going to say about the whole Chris Broussard thing. To me, anybody who has LeBron James at number 2 cannot be trusted. If you have LeBron James as the second greatest player of all time, really in the top, if you have him in the top 5, I would a case could be made that you shouldn't have him in the top 10. You know, I don't have him in the top 10 anymore, but you know, but at the very least, to have him in the top 5, you know, I don't know who you might have in your top 5, but obviously Jordan, you know, obviously Kareem and probably Russell. Some people may have Wilt, Magic, Bird, of course, Kobe is in there. So many people you can have in your top 5 that LeBron James does not belong amongst those people. But like I said, to me, anybody who has LeBron James at number 2, you cannot be trusted. Because the way I see it is this. If you have Michael Jordan number 1, and you have him number 1 because of all the things that Michael Jordan embodies, because of him being one of the most fundamentally sound athletes, who is also one of the greatest athletes to ever play the game, arguably the greatest athlete, arguably. I always say it's probably between him and Wilt, but who's one of the most skilled players to ever play the game, one of the most competitive people to ever play the game, who has the never say die attitude, the killer instinct. And again, for those of us who grew up in the 90s watching this guy, to me, one of the things that I think that really drew people in is the fact that Michael Jordan never, ever gave up. Michael Jordan didn't think the game was over until the clock struck 0. One of the most clutch players to ever do it. So clutch that back in the 90s, we expected Michael Jordan's clutch shots to go in. You know, Michael Jordan's around 50% in the clutch. And, you know, for us back then, it felt like a surprise when he missed the clutch shot. Because 50% is so much better than most superstars. So much better. Kobe's not close to 50% in the clutch. LeBron James, for sure. You know, again, whenever they bring up LeBron James in the clutch, they bring up one particular stat, and that is buzzer beaters. That is the only stat they try to use to represent LeBron James in the clutch. But if you, in totality in the clutch, LeBron James is like 20% or something. It's horrible. So if you have Michael Jordan at number 1 because of all the things that Michael Jordan embodies, especially that never say die attitude, especially the fact that you knew Michael Jordan wasn't quitting until the last millisecond was gone from the clock. If you like Michael Jordan because of all those things, how could you possibly have LeBron James right next to him? You cannot be trusted. Because to me, that shows that you have been severely affected by the narratives, or you're getting paid to say what you say, or both. So Chris Broussard has proven that he cannot be trusted. So yeah, you know, this is a surprise to me. I didn't really expect Chris Broussard to be represented by Klutch Sports, but hey. Again, this is further proof that you really can't trust anybody in mainstream media, because Klutch Sports has gotten to so many people. And again, you know, at this point, what can you say? Like I said, we gonna hold up here. But like I said, I am awaiting next season with excitement. I cannot wait for next season to start. Like, it's really going to be amazing, people. And I know that it seems like it should be a depressing thing because they are ruining the NBA. But again, when it's out of your control, sometimes you just got to laugh. And it's out of our control. Like, we the fans, we have voiced our opinions. We have voiced our complaints. Adam Silver has come out and actually said that he has been approached by players and fans who voiced their opinion, saying that the NBA is too soft nowadays, saying that the NBA focuses too much on the three-point shot nowadays, and Adam Silver has no interest in fixing it. has no interest in fixing the competitiveness of the All-Star game. So it's out of our control. The NBA clearly does not care about its fans anymore. So now the only other thing to do is to enjoy it for the entertainment value. And I'm not talking about basketball. I'm talking about all the other drama going around. I mean, next season is going to be amazing. I mean, we've got JJ Redick. And the only other thing that they have to do is draft Bronny James. Once they draft Bronny James, it will be a trifecta. It will be complete, and we will be set for all the entertainment that you can stand. I mean, can you imagine the possibilities from next season? First of all, will LeBron James and JJ Redick's friendship survive JJ Redick trying to be the coach? Because first of all, we know JJ Redick will definitely be a scapegoat. Second of all, we know definitely that JJ Redick will be expected to follow LeBron's orders. And then the other thing we have to wonder is, will LeBron James try to have his own son traded if they start losing? Another possibility is the fact that maybe LeBron James will be whining twice as much next season, because not only will he be whining for all the calls he think he should be getting, but he will now also be whining for all the calls he think Bronny should be getting. So yeah, people, it's lots of possibilities for next season. Like I said, we are set up to have a season full of drama and full of entertainment in one way or another. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about Chris Broussard coming out and saying that he is represented by Klutch Sports? Does this officially put Chris Broussard on the not to be trusted list along with the rest of mainstream media? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.